An X-ray, MRI, or a CAT scan are diagnostic imaging tools that help medical providers and physicians diagnose the type of injury that our clients have sustained and recommend a course of treatment in the future. These three diagnostic tools vary widely when it comes to accessibility, the resolution or the ultimate detail that is produced in these images, and of course the type of energy used. An X-ray, also known as a radiograph, uses radiation that passes through the body. And in areas where there are high deposits of calcium, such as bone and teeth, that radiation bounces off and it creates an image that's ultimately produced that is white. Soft tissue and other structures simply let that radiation pass through and they don't appear on the ultimate image. An X-ray can be helpful in determining if there is a bone fracture, a misalignment of bones or vertebrae, or a narrowing in certain bony spaces. All of these can be the result of an injury such as a car crash. An MRI, or magnetic resonance imaging, uses a high-powered magnet to send energy through the body. The protons in the body react to that energy and produce a highly detailed image. These images can show nerves, discs, soft tissue. There are some MRIs that are so highly detailed that they can show traumatic injuries in the brain. We often use these types of MRIs in our traumatic brain injury cases. An MRI is also incredibly helpful for determining when an injury that our client has sustained is recent or new. As all of us age, we have either prior injuries or degenerative changes in our body. We may have a prior neck injury, a prior back injury, or a shoulder injury, for example. But if there is a high level of swelling or fluid in the area that was recently injured, an MRI, if timely taken, can show that this injury is not related to that old issue that my client had, but it's new and it's recent. That MRI image, where there is a high level of swelling or fluid, is known as a higher signal intensity on the radiologist's report. That can be clear evidence, and oftentimes irrefutable, that the injury that my client sustained, as evidenced by that higher signal intensity in the MRI, is new. As a result, it is critical that our client get an MRI soon after the crash or traumatic event. That's when that swelling is there. That's when the evidence is the best to show that the injury that our client has suffered is related to whatever traumatic event they were in. A CT scan, or computed tomography, uses radiation that provides a 360-degree picture, but has a higher resolution than a simple X-ray. And although it takes more time than an X-ray, it is very helpful in determining whether or not there's an organ issue, there's a blood clot, or there is a broken bone or a fracture that perhaps is too subtle to be picked up by a simple X-ray. This is why it's ultimately used in emergency rooms across the nation. It may not be that helpful if there's a soft tissue injury, if there's a nerve injury, or a disc protrusion, or a herniation that can be causing a tremendous amount of pain after, for example, a car crash or another traumatic event. If you or a loved one is injured through no fault of your own, please contact our firm, the Viper Law Group. We have had the privilege of serving clients for over a decade and recovering over $50 million on their behalf. We look forward to being of service to you. Thank you.